All right. Welcome back to Developing Hurricanes, where I'm back home, as we can see by the amount of yellow I have, because I haven't changed anything. I got home Saturday and tried to unpack as much as I can, but didn't. So my room is still a mess. There's a lot of stuff around the house, but I am back home. And we decided to do this episode because somebody's going out of town next week, and that's when we normally record. And so we're just gonna do it this week. Um, my co-host is Matt. I just moved, so it's not me. So Matt, how are we today?
I'll be a lot better Saturday when I'm, heading to the cruise that we're going on. But,
Oh God, I didn't realize it was a cruise.
yeah,
If you bring back any sort of disease, this will end. This podcast will end.
just going to bring back Cane's fever, baby.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably will be back by the time you come back. So
yeah. They will be playing hockey when I get back.
yeah, because Buffalo and Montreal are going to 6 at least,
6
which
games.
will be Saturday is the earliest that series could get over. And if that goes to 7, Monday, so earliest that would start would be sometime in the midweek. So, yeah. In any case, let's just dive right in to prospect talk. Finally, the long-awaited national nightmare is over. After I think we said it about 10 times that there was really no reason to be terrified of anything. And we posted, or at least I posted a Windhorst about it on my personal account because I was too chicken to do anything from the prospect account. But Charlie Serrato officially signed his entry-level contract, which was only a matter of time because he went a PTO instead of an ATO and played in the AHL. So he couldn't go back to school. And I think I might have said it before, but it was kind of a fact of was it going to start this year or not, and what the bonuses were. And to the surprise of nobody, he got a gigantic signing bonus, and it's going to start this year. So it'll go to restricted free agency a year earlier than normal because the 3-year contract starts this year. And he has already played one AHL game and then subsequently seems to have picked up an injury, even though he has been seen practicing, getting ready for the Wolves round 2 matchup against Grand Rapids that starts Thursday. This will go out Saturday, so that will be game 2. But I got to watch his first round matchup or his first game, and I thought he did really well. He showed a lot of pro level attributes. His work on the boards is really good. Won 80% of his faceoffs in his first game. Didn't really get a lot of run in the later part of the game because the Wolves were chasing and they kept taking penalties, and he's a rookie in a brand new game, and it was just one of those things. But he did a lot of the stuff you wanted to see a guy do well.
Yeah.
He did well off the rip, and I was happy with it, and he now has a contract, and I'm happy for him.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think we even said this, right? It was a matter of when, not if. With Serrato signing, I think it is fascinating that the team let him burn a year of the ELC a little earlier. I don't think he's going to play very much. I don't think he's going to play with the Canes at all. But they probably have him in as, a potential black ace because he can play center. If the team, if the Wolves are finished before the Hurricanes are. And I mean, I think, it fits with the timeline of the rest of the centers on the roster. I mean, Mark Jankowski just signed a 2-year deal. Jordan Stahl has 1 year remaining on his contract, but he kind of has a lifetime contract at this point. He's very much getting a contract until he decides he's done. And then, the other 2 centers, Stankovic and Aho, are obviously locked up pretty long term. So, I think it gives Serrato a chance to develop. I would like to have the 3rd year, but I'm not bummed that we really won't get that.
You're not pounding your table, angry that the 3rd year doesn't exist.
My fist at the air.
Why? Yeah, you oughta. Yeah, I think it was fine. I don't know, unless the Wolves have an injury, I don't think he'd play an AHL game. Just because Shout out the guy that said Evan Vierling getting scratched was a dumb decision. Evan Vierling was really solid in the Wolves first series, but also Serrano was dinged up.
Vierling was like quietly a really good player this year.
Yeah, man. I mean, if he wants to stay on an AHL deal, that's awesome. But
Yeah.
yeah, Serrato had a good first game, and now he's going to have a long career, hopefully for the Hurricanes, because he's a very fun player. With that as well, he is one of the last prospects remaining. The Canes obviously have Chicago, which is very loaded with prospects at this current moment in time, and then we get to Europe, even though it's just Russia now, where the Canes have three guys still playing prospect hockey. That
Let's
would
go.
be, and realistically, I think only one of them is getting consistent game time right now. Semyon Frolov is still the backup for Spartak Moscow, their MHL team. They're going for their second straight MHL championship after beating Timor Kol and SK 1946 last year. They're going from back to back. Frolov just has been hurt, but I'm glad that he's healthy enough to be the backup, and their starter's been really good. He's probably a guy that you'll hear me talk about more, and maybe Matt, come draft time, because he is draft eligible this year. So there's that. The other, Stanislav Yarovoy, had a really good first two rounds, and then picked up an injury, and he's been on and off the lineup for the past few games. But Kimmich is going to the VHL final to play against a team that has not made it yet, because I think they went to 7 games as well. And the only prospect currently playing consistent hockey for a playoff team that is making the championship is Roman Chakrin, with Loco in the MHL, who is playing Semyon Frolov. So I had the post that said it's technically the second year that a Canes prospect will win the MHL, and it was mainly because Frolov wasn't a prospect yet, but he still won the championship, so we still count those.
We take those.
This is and the only guy I really need or / want to focus on the most here is Chakrin, because this is a big year for him, because it's the last year he can play in the MHL. And with Loco not having a VHL team, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with him next year, because Loco is an extremely deep KHL team. They're extremely deep on the back end. And I don't know how he's going to. All right, maybe I don't see it right now just because they have a lot of veteran talent. So I'm interested to see what happens with him if he goes on loan to a VHL team, or kind of just what happens there. But I've liked Chakrin for a little bit. He's been playing top pair. He's looked good. He's played kind of a shutdown role more than anything else. Good PK time, good even strength minutes, and he's big. He's physical. He's really decent skater. He's just a solid defenseman at this point in time.
Yeah, I like him too. I mean, I think he's one of those guys that doesn't really get talked about a whole lot, just because, he's a 6th round pick pretty late in the draft. Not the flashiest player overall. Like, he matched his point total from last season, but also did it in a lot more games. I don't think there's a ton of offense there, but he's a big, mean defenseman. And, I think for a 6th round pick, you look at 6'5", good skater, 198 pounds, and a really good physical defender. All right, yeah, you can see what that turns into in 5 or 6 years. I agree. I think it's going to be interesting to see where he winds up next year, whether it is, signing with another VHL team. It looks like his contract is
It's still through next year. So that's why I was intrigued, because it would have to be a loan or a trade. Unless they just terminate it outright, which I doubt. So
I doubt it. And I also don't think this is the type of player that you would want in Chicago right now.
No.
He's way too raw.
Yeah. So those are and then obviously all of Chicago. And, it's kind of nice because Chicago, the big guys have been playing good. Nadeau's been really good. Robert has been good. Ryabkin, oh man, let me tell you what, that's a prospect. That's a guy.
That's a guy.
It's kind of funny looking back at some of the stuff that we said, and some of the stuff that I specifically said about Ryabkin getting close to draft last year and looking back at the reaction that we had to the Ryabkin pick when it was made, and it was kind of like, huh. Just because the player was uber talented, but you didn't quite know the player that you were going to get consistently on a night-to-night basis, and with him
To be
going
fair, you
straight,
still don't.
what?
I said, to be fair, you still don't.
No, but it has gotten much more consistent, which I was getting to. And especially with him starting in Chicago this year, it was just an interesting pick because you're like, okay, this is a 18-year-old jumping straight to pro. This is going to be real interesting. And he was okay. In the very small minutes he was getting a night, it was fine. It wasn't anything spectacular. He had a couple nice plays, a couple bad plays, a lot of stupid penalties, and it was just kind of that. Canes made the decision to send him to the queue. Probably the best decision of all time. He offense exploded like it was supposed to. The stupidity was still there to a certain extent with penalties, but it got slowly reined back. And now the player that has returned to the AHL is a player that was not there in the first half of the year.
100%.
This is a completely true power forward where he's playing with his known physicality, but he's doing it in a much more restrained way. He's not going out of his way to line up hits. He's going for big hits, but he's doing so within the pace of play. The playmaking is getting better. He's not taking the stupid penalties anymore. It's just he's a lot more
you only
locked
had
in
one
consistently.
penalty in those 5 games.
You see, I think he had 50 penalty minutes before leaving the AHL or something crazy like that. It was a ton.
There was something silly, yeah.
But yeah, he's just gotten a million times. I'm going to just flat out say better. And he's gotten more consistent with his play, and he's been rewarded. He's not playing as much center anymore, which is fine. Just because he can take faceoffs and he has continued to take faceoffs. But he doesn't have to. And playing on the wing, he's filling a role he's kind of like, I don't want to use the comparison of like Ehlers with Stahl and Martinuk because it's not fair. But in the same way that Skylar Brindamore and Josiah Slavin are grinders and Ivan Ryabkin is a skillful guy, it's kind of like that. And that's kind of where I see it. But Ryabkin has just been a much better player so far.
Yeah, I would agree. And I mean, in the 11 games that he's played since returning to Chicago, he has taken 3 penalties.
We're back.
We're so back. He has only been held without a shot on goal in 1 game. His
Much
second
better.
game back from the queue. Like, the production has I find that he's being effective. Let me phrase it this way. Not that I don't care about the results. I'm less concerned about the results now. I like to see the processes.
Yeah.
I think he's making the right decisions. He's setting up plays the right way. Okay, the puck's not going in as much, but he's doing the right stuff. That matters a lot more to me right now for an 18-year-old player.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, he still 18?
He is 19. He just turned 19
weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember he had a very big hit in one of those first games, and Andrew Rinaldi quickly pointed out, yeah, he just turned 19 like a week ago, and I was like, all right, that's fun. Yeah. It's just that player has definitely, whenever we eventually do top 10s, probably before the draft, because I feel as if it's fair to do one pre-draft and then one post-draft.
Sure.
He'll definitely be much higher on mine because I think I had him outside the top 10. He'll be much higher come that. Defensively, it's kind of just been no Badinka. He was hurt, not healthy scratched. He was hurt. Joel Nyström, sorry. He's been incredibly solid. Does everything you want him to do. Charles Alexis Legault does everything you want him to do and looks really good. And I think those are the only 2 prospect. I guess Alexei Hamosalmi, who has been actually really solid. So the defensemen have looked really solid, and goalies is not a prospect, but Caden Primo has been very solid. So the Wolves look good. I'm interested to see how they match up with Grand Rapids. I think I could have sworn this was a best of 7. It's a best of 5. That does stink a little bit, but I think the Wolves can win this series. Just like they've had good success against Grand Rapids this year, and I think they just can. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Let's do some early draft talk before we dive into questions. We are getting to that point in the year where we're getting closer to draft time. We'll
It's
obviously
like a month
announce
and a half
it.
away.
It's what?
Like a
Month
month
and
and
a
a
half?
half away.
Yeah, I can't wait to do a ton of writing over the next few weeks. So we'll obviously announce it more formally and make sure to continuously mention it. But Matt and I are gonna stream the draft again. Had a ton of fun with it last year. I've seen that redeem Murtka reaction about 13 times. Thanks. Um, so we'll keep doing it. It was incredibly fun last year, and it seems like a lot of people are interested in it. So we'll do it again this year. Even though, and we'll talk about it later, we all know the Hurricanes will be trading that pick and crushing our souls for the second straight year, but it'll still be the best thing for them because it's the thing that makes the most sense. But yeah, we're gonna do it again. Obviously, we'll have a more formal announcement. Basically, the same time last year, same thing as last year. Um, but yeah. So, do you have any early standouts to you? Any guys that you already like? Anything that you've already seen from anybody that you would like to see the Canes draft?
I mean, I haven't really dived into like specific players as much yet as I probably should have.
You got time.
But yeah, like that's kind of the thing. I was like, I have time, right? Like,
I guess we can, if you want to do just like wants in the prospect system.
yeah. So I was about to say like I've done like team needs and like needs are subjective, right? Like
Yeah.
you draft the best player available. If the best player available happens to fill one of your needs, awesome. So like for me, I would really like to see the Hurricanes draft like a more offensive minded defenseman. I don't think that they have one of those in their system right now.
Well, I think they
Like
do. I just there's he's just kind of had a weird development over the past year.
who would you say that is?
Noel Franzen out.
That's true. I guess Franzen. Yeah, he's reportedly moving to a worse league. So like I don't know how to
I'm
feel
just
about that.
saying that that archetype does exist within the system. And he,
Yes.
the player might not be great right now, but I'm just saying the archetype does exist.
Yeah. If they can like somehow find a way to draft like Tommy Blyle, I would really like that. He's a kid. He's like the one like offensive minded defenseman.
We're gonna have to step aside and have a talk about that. I've heard that man's name from about 3 different people, and I'm like, hey man, I can understand a
Listen,
part of it, but I can't understand all of it.
no, I mean, listen, I think it would be a stretch, but like this is a kid that for a rookie defenseman, a rookie being like, yeah, he's been 18 for most of the year, but still, like first year in junior hockey, putting up 81 points in 63 QMJHL games, like that's impressive. Over an assist per game.
Hey man, what's that league again?
I know it's the Q. I know,
Just want
and
to make
that's
sure.
the thing is like it is the QMJHL.
Yeah.
But like, I think if you can draft, like, there's the Ruck twins. Either of those would be fun.
I've come around on Marcus and Liam a little bit here.
I love them to death. They're such fun players. I remember watching them at junior tournaments.
Oh, look at me.
I had a scout be like, "Hey, we should go after these kids." And I'm like,
You have
it
no
was like
hope,
the
young
hand on
man.
the shoulder meme. Like,
Hey man,
I was
good
like,
job with talent evaluation. Unfortunately,
yeah, I was like, I gotta keep it real with you, Chief. Like, we are not getting the
I'm
Ruck.
be honest, man, not happening.
Um, but like there's other players that would be interesting. I mean, like I think this is a decent year for centers, or at least players that have started at center, like in the middle rounds. Like there's no like super high end centers in this draft. Like we're talking about Caleb Malhotra as the top center in this draft class.
Top 3 pick, by the way.
Mm,
I've seen him. Hey man, that Manny connection in Vancouver.
yeah, but like Jack Hextall's interesting, like to an extent.
Mm.
I think honestly this is going to be a year where, like, I think some interesting players fall. Like,
Yeah.
normally players do fall, but, like, I think we're going to see a lot of teams go to the CHL really early. I don't think it's a
Oh,
very
oh,
good year
oh.
for a lot of European teams.
Rub my hands together when you say that.
What do you mean?
The other teams going to the CHL first. I that's why I'm rubbing my hands together.
Yeah, but I mean it's a dog water Russian class, so don't get too
What?
excited.
All right. Well, you haven't even. Hey, man.
Isn't it? Isn't it that this is a terrible Russian class?
It's not up to standard over the past few years, but I do think there is Russian talent there.
Yeah.
Whenever we get to my draft stuff, I have to talk about my guy.
Oh, the other Gleb. You can go ahead and talk about him now.
No. Okay. Well, I was gonna say for the past 2 years, I have had a guy, someone that I have just liked, and someone that I want to see the Canes draft just because I like the player. First year it was ever here, Nikita Artemonov was my guy. Well, the Canes drafted him. That did happen. Last year
Can confirm.
it was Milton Gastrin. Washington
Capitals
got
drafted
him,
him.
yeah, early second or late first, I think.
Mhm.
I think it's just weird that my two favorite players are just guys with extremely high floors if they hit, and I was like, huh, that's weird. This year, guy that probably doesn't have a high floor, but that's ceiling. That's the thing I like. Plus, his name's kind of sick, and he's probably the best draft eligible Russian skater this year. Big Gleb. Gleb version 2, Gleb squared. Gleb 2, Electric
Gleb.
Boogaloo. What is his name? Gleb
Pugachev.
Pugachov. I don't. As a Russian guy, as a person who reads a lot of Russian, the translations of names is always going to be confusing. I remember whenever I was talking with Igor Velmakin, whenever he came over, he specifically said Igor, not Igor, and I was like, all right, word, bro. I will try to make sure I remember that, and I have for the most part. No, this year for me, that's Gleb Pugachev or Pugachov. Big physical winger, good skating, good shot, good playmaking. That's my guy. It's a mix of the name, yes. Obviously, I'm always going to find the name Gleb fun, but also it's just because he's actually a good player and he's probably the best Russian skater outside Nikita Sherbakov. So that is where I'm at. Other than that, I like Matt's thing of the rucks. I think Liam and Marcus Ruck are really good. I can't remember which one is the setup guy more in the.
It's Marcus. Marcus had 81 assists this year.
I don't know which one is better, which is probably an issue.
87. Excuse me. 87 assists this year.
It's disrespectful that you're undershooting him. You know, I can tell you why the Canes aren't going to draft Nikita Klepov. No reason why I say that, but I know I understand it's the nature of the business thing. First mock draft you put out, and you see OHL winger, and you go, Canes got it.
Not a Hurricane.
It's like, really, man? They took one OHL player last year.
Will the Canes eventually draft more from the CHL? Maybe, but like, I can't
even say yes.
I know, like, I can't see the team drafting like, because the problem is the CHL gets picked clean, like so much earlier than other leagues do, because other teams just prefer Canadian players.
Yeah. One other guy that I wanted to mention in around that 30 to 40 range that I do also have a little bit of a soft spot for is Nicholas Aram Olsen from Orebro going to Boston University this year. Next year. Had a really solid U20 season this year. He had a 20-20 in 29 games. Has played SHL games this year. No production, but has played SHL games this year. Got 10 minutes in one of the games. Other than that, it was just a ton of just nothing burgers. 0 or under 5. But young players making the SHL and playing at the SHL level is kind of a big thing for these guys.
Hmm.
Um, he apparently, again, I've done very little research, but he's not the biggest. He's 6'1", which is still decent size for a forward. Plays a heavy game, has a great shot. Kind of just where my head's at. Wingers are always going to be weirder for me because I need to get into my head that a lot of Kane's draft strategy, outside of one dude who we'll probably end up talking about later, has been smaller skilled, not big, but you know, I like to vary the pot. And I was also like last year, I was a big fan of like Jacob Wozniak and Theo Saxelius, who kind of fit that same type of player. So,
Yeah, and I mean, Hermansen had a decent U18. I mean, Norway wasn't exactly a world burner this year. Like their first 4 games, they had 3 combined goals, but he did score a hat trick in the game against Germany for relegation and to help them win that. So that's not nothing. Um, he's played U20 hockey this year. At all for the team, he has 2 points per game, 16 points in 8 games with the U20 team, which is solid for Norway.
oh, okay, that confused me for a second.
Yep. He played at the Division 1A World Junior Championship, so like it's a tier below.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, those are the guys I've looked at. Obviously, some of the Russian guys I've had slightly longer looks at. Guys like Viktor Fyodorov, who I'll probably mention a little bit more, like just over time while doing this. Laver Gashelov is another one farther down the board, but they're still there.
Hmm.
But I still think Euros are going to be the Canes' focus again, just because it has kind of just been their strategy over the past few years. So that's just kind of my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them taking like a variety of players, but like another thing, not necessarily need. I mean, it kind of is because they have none other than Frolov, but like I wouldn't be surprised to see the team take a goalie with one of their picks this year.
We'll get to that because somebody asked a question. And actually, I don't think he'll be the pick, but Dmitry Borichev is the top rated Russian goalie, and he is really sick. But like I mentioned, the Spartak Moscow goalie that is currently playing, it kind of fits the mold of being taller and extremely aggressive play style. So he'll probably get another mention from me over the next few weeks as well. So
Yeah.
now we spent 30 minutes, just under 30 minutes, talking about everything happening currently and a little bit of draft talk, but we'll obviously talk a lot more draft going out this because we are going to answer your questions, and we have a ton. Thank you all for asking questions. It means the world, and it also means that we have stuff to talk about in the slight dead period that we are in right now. Let's go. The first question that we were asked, I believe, from Reese. Not Okay. With Darren York potentially leaving Carolina for Nashville's GM position, what kind of hole does that create, and who would Tulski choose to replace him? And then in parentheses, this question could be null and void if the mystery GM that Nashville has selected isn't York. So yeah, that was the thing from Cam Robinson today that
Yes.
said that Nashville has picked a guy, and he is an AGM on a playoff team that is still going.
Correct.
I think immediately everybody went, oh, Darren York, because AGM with the Hurricanes, they're still going. Current GM of the Chicago Wolves, they're still going. So kind of just seems like it's him. And he obviously deserves it. Let's make that abundantly clear. He's done really, really good work. I know he's done a lot of drafting stuff for the Hurricanes. But yeah, he's just been really, really good. And obviously that does leave a potential thing, but the Hurricanes have obviously done really well from hiring from within over the past few times they've kind of had to. And if they hire from outside, I wouldn't hate it. But until that gets announced, I'm not really going to put a lot of stock into it. But if it does happen, Darren York completely deserves it. So hats off to him.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a blow to the Hurricanes, right? Darren's been with the team for well over a decade, I think. You know, really cool story. Started as like a hockey ops intern, and has now worked his way up to becoming the assistant GM of the Carolina Hurricanes, the general manager of a very successful AHL team. That's a very impressive resume. He obviously ran the Hurricanes draft room for a number of years. And so, I think with Darren, if the Hurricanes lose him, I don't think the draft strategy is going to change,
No.
because I think they're going to promote from within, which I believe you just said.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I would assume, anyways.
it would make sense for the Hurricanes to pick somebody that, has been with the team for a while, that knows what they want. Maybe they make a few changes to a process here and there, but for the most part, right, what you have works. You've found a bunch of players in the middle late rounds. You've hit on most of your top picks in recent years. You're going to have obviously a few bad drafts. 2022 probably is not
Yeah, we'll get to that at
looking
some
that
point in the off
looking that
season.
great. But most other drafts, you're at least averaging getting one NHL player from, and that's the best you can hope for in a draft.
Especially with the Hurricanes drafting late 20s for the most part. Even then,
Let's be real. Most of the
mid
drafts,
30s.
and honestly, 2022, the reason why it wasn't great is they didn't pick till 60.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of nice whenever they do have a first round pick and it is late. Getting because you're still going to get picks back, and getting in that 30-ish range means you're still going to get a guy that probably could have been a first rounder if teams had it. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really good. Obviously, yeah, I do think hiring from within makes more sense. And if it's not Darren York, he'll eventually, because he is really good at what he does. So I will
Yeah,
forever.
some team that is smart will hire him. I think the Hurricanes, their philosophy is they're never going to block somebody from moving up, right? So
Yeah.
if it's a better position, I mean, let's be real, there are 32 general manager positions in the NHL. To be one of those 32 people, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Also, if he does end up getting hired by Nashville, thank you Nashville for not rehiring an old GM. Means the world.
Shout out.
Let's do that's a draft question. We can do these two because they're kind of the same thing. So from Matt Barham, with the recent signing of Jankowski, how do you feel that impacts prospects that are NHL ready / close? I feel that the team will make room if they're ready. See Blake last season, but I feel there's a narrative that somehow Jankowski is going to keep Nadeau and Co out of the lineup. Well, I will immediately
Oh,
say
God bless that person for adding that last little part.
I will
Can I take
immediately
this one?
say
Can I
I
take
well
this one?
I have to read the second question because it's kind of the same thing
Okay,
or
all right.
related. First up, two different positions. I want to immediately point that out.
Anyways, just get to the second question.
The other one is Kane's news follower. How big a risk is it that prospects like Nadeau, Legault, Felix, Ungersorm over-ripen if they spend another full year in the AHL? Would that hurt their development, or would it still be worth their time? Take it away, Matt Stoma.
So, the signing, what we need to get out of our heads here is the signing of Jankowski has nothing to do with the Hurricanes prospects. It's the Hurricanes being like, hey, this is this guy who's done pretty well as a fourth line forward or 13th forward if need be. We can get him. He fits the system on a really cheap deal for 2 years. That is the extent of which Mark Jankowski affects things here. The better question is if Bradley Nadeau, Felix Ungersorum, Charles Alexis Legault, etc., are in fact ready for the NHL next year, how do the Canes create space with him for them? The person the first question asked with Jackson Blake. Carolina isn't at a position, and this is why, I've been saying, hey, if you're gonna trade Nadeau, it wouldn't hurt because the Hurricanes have all their wingers locked up long term. for Nadeau to make the NHL, he has to prove that he would be a better impact player than right now Taylor Hall, Jackson Blake. Oh, by the way, the two Canes who have the most points in the playoffs right now. And the way the Canes third line is constructed, you've got Nikolai Ehlers there, along with Jordan Martinook, who's not leaving anytime soon. So it's like, I think the Hurricanes, you have to, unless they change things fundamentally to add and have 3 scoring lines instead of, or even like 2.5. Because like right now, yeah, but like even if they change their style to have like 3 scoring lines, like unless that happens, I don't see a path for those players to make the team, barring other moves elsewhere.
I will also say though, defense is slightly different. So for a guy like Legault,
even so, I mean, next year the Canes don't have, the only defenseman leaving is Riley.
Oh, I have years wrong. Okay.
Yeah, Chatfield's a UFA next year.
I think so is Gostisbehere. Do I have years wrong again?
Gostisbehere's 28.
Okay, so.
Oh no! Yeah. Wait, no. Yeah. You're right. It is Gostisbehere and Chatfield.
I know certain things. Go me. But yeah, so Matt is 1,000% correct. Matt, yeah, it's kind of just the annoying part about having so many good wingers locked up. And like even then, Nadeau or Felix on the fourth line, it's kind of just a waste.
Yeah,
it's a waste for them because they're not going to play like a fourth line. They're not going to play the style that you want to have your fourth line playing like. They're going to play the style you want your top 6 playing like. And that's not going to mesh well with guys like, Mark Jankowski and Eric Robinson. So it is just one of those things.
Yep.
Obviously, I want to keep all my guys because that's what I focus on. But hockey is a business and it sucks. I hope everybody realizes that. Let's do let's do a fun one. Trevor, Mr. TML 37. Who are the Canes taking with a 32nd pick? The answer, buddy, nobody.
Nobody. That pick is getting traded.
Oh, Matt's wrong too. Wow, that's crazy. Who has the 32nd pick, Matt?
It will be the Canes.
It's actually the Ottawa Senators.
Why?
They are locked into the 32nd pick this year. Part of the whole Evgeny Dadonov not getting asked about his no trade clause from those years back. This year, they are locked into the 32nd pick. Look it up, man. Use your Googles or whatever.
I'm pulling up Puckpedia.
I guarantee you they have the Ottawa Senators have the 32nd pick, and nobody will have lower. So the answer to who are the Canes taking with the 32nd pick? Nobody, because there's physically no way unless they trade for 32. And I don't think Ottawa can trade the pick either. There's no way. So there's no way the Canes can draft 32. So the answer is nobody. I just really wanted to say that because it was I saw that come in. Like I looked at my phone and got that notification and went, "Ooh, I can't wait."
That's fun.
Let's do Samuel Branch. Organizational center depth. How likely do you think it is that Suzuki, Philp, or Brindamore, or any combination of the 3, are re-signed in the offseason? Serrato coming in adds an actual prospect to the center depth list, correct? Along with perhaps Robida and Ryabkin. I will mention Robida has played primarily wing this year, even though he has taken a good amount of faceoffs this year as a whole. He and Suzuki normally trade out faceoffs. I think Robida takes right side faceoffs. Suzuki takes all left-sided faceoffs. Ryabkin has been used as a wing, and I wonder if they're going to keep him there next year or try and get him back in the middle. Serrato is a true center, so I would say he is 1.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I think Skylar Brindamore does get re-signed. Outside of that, I got nothing.
Yeah, I think Suzuki and Philp both look for other opportunities. Um, I think it was kind of funny that the Canes claimed Philp this year rather than play Okiniemi.
Hey man, there's no need for that stray at all. We could have done without that.
No, we couldn't have. I'm a hater.
Whatever, man. Uh,
Um,
to answer that, right now I think Serrato and Brindamore are going to be your centers in Chicago.
yeah,
Outside of that, whatever. Start looking at AHL guys.
yeah. Canes will find somebody.
Uh, let's do James Dymock. Any prospects on the Wolves that have impressed you in the playoffs so far? Hoping they can pull off the upset this next round. I also hope they can pull that off. To me, the answer is Ryabkin without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, we talked about Rabkin. I mean,
He's, to me, like, you know what you're getting from Nadeau and Robida. Ryabkin's just been the best prospect that I've seen. Like, Felix, he had a weird first round. So I'm going Ryabkin.
he still doesn't play super great against physical competition.
Just needs to learn. This is his first like real playoff experience. I'm not counting those 2 games last year against Rockford.
Yeah.
So I think we both immediately go Ryabkin. He's impressed us greatly. I'm trying to avoid the draft questions and then these fun ones. Let's do what in the world? No, I guess we might have run. Actually, let's do this one from Naveed Ade. I hope I said that right. If I did not, I am greatly sorry. This one comes from Blue Sky. Has drafting Russian prospects in late rounds been successful enough to continue, given how few are likely to sign in North American leagues? I want this one. Example, is Nikishin and maybe Ryabkin enough to continue justifying the strategy? Yes. I hate this stigma so much because it is a genuine thing. First up, Ryabkin is, I'm going to put a large amount of technicalities on that one solely because his situation is drastically and was drastically different than a lot of other prospects coming from Russia to North America. He had normal prospects are just, they want to play in Russia, and if they're good enough, the team will probably want to sign them and see if they can stick it in North America or the AHL.
Yeah.
Ryabkin was, that was a whole nother thing in itself, a whole nother wild scenario. The answer to me is no. I don't think that strategy should change at all. I think you can still justify that strategy. For the Canes, if you take Russian guys and they develop well and you end up signing them, you could probably get an NHL guy in the next 5 years. And that's if you get a good one.
Yeah.
And that works for the Canes because they are a contending team who desperately do not need young guys to come in every single year and work for a role at the NHL level.
Right. If a player's going to come into the team on an entry level deal, it's going to be because they've earned it.
Yeah. And for Russian guys, that takes a little bit longer because their developmental leagues are something to behold.
That's
I love that guy's name. So I kind of want to do this one next from Uncle Morty, otherwise known as the mayor of. I can't. Well, we're not an explicit podcast, but it is a spectacular name. The mayor of Poop Town on Blue Sky. Any prospects likely to make the Canes roster next year, or are top prospects likely to be traded with picks to boost the NHL roster / fill potential retirement voids? Who leaves Raleigh to open that spot? Hey man,
yeah. I mean, speculating on trades is always tough because we
I don't do it.
know what the
Not my
market's
thing.
think yet.
I don't do it.
I'll do it. I mean, it's been the guys that we've said for years. It's the most tradable assets the Hurricanes currently have are probably Felix Unger-Sorum now, Bradley Nadeau, and Charles Alexis Legault.
Coincidentally, your top 3 prospects as well.
Yep, because they are all 3 bubble NHL players right now. Most of them would be in the NHL, I think, already on teams that weren't as deep as the Hurricanes. And so if you can get something for them, great. But it's also one of those things where we really don't know. I mean, the Hurricanes, as it is, are going to probably need to move a roster piece in order to get something done to improve the team.
Yeah. I just don't like doing it. I've always been against being like, yeah, they should trade this guy or this guy.
I'm no longer Kings prospects, so I can say what I want.
I was also that guy well before becoming Canes prospects. I should make that.
No, I know. It's just like it's hard.
Once you get into prospect, you get prospect brain, and that will infect you bad, and it becomes an issue.
Prospect brain, if you or your loved one is affected by prospect brain,
you might be entitled. You might be
to compensation.
Contact this number, and it's just my Cash App.
Yeah.
All right, so let's tackle. I'm just gonna wrap all these into one. Also from Naveed on Blue Sky, because he had a second part to his question. Any other prospects you expect Canes to sign this summer? From James Dymock. Who are you most hopeful makes the jump to North America for the Wolves this offseason?
These are just the Windhorst questions.
Hold on. I'm not done. There was at least one or two more. Actually, that wasn't it. And I think there was just one more. From Snowman. Did he have one?
They asked, who's going to sign.
And then lastly, what Russian from Snowman NC? What Russians are going to sign ELCs? What Russians are going to sign ELCs? You keep teasing, y'all know something. And man, I feel as if this is a point of pride for me, because I feel as if we've been very not secretive in saying these are guys you could probably see. We have not been secretive about that at all, but apparently we've been secretive enough, and that makes me a little happy.
Well, I mean, no, it's so I wrote today, being Tuesday when we're recording this, that Charlie Serrato is likely not the only prospect we see signed this offseason.
And I did a funny quote that just said, "What that mean?"
You quoted it.
And it shockingly got a lot more engagement than I thought.
What I meant by that is the Russian season does not end until I think it's May 30th.
One more day.
31st.
There you go. That is the last official day of this KHL season.
So starting on June 1st is when I think you're going to see a lot of Canes prospects become free agents.
Actually, if
guys that have expiring contracts like Timur Cole, Fyodor Avramov, I think Alexander Sieryatsky probably resigns, but there are players like that who, I mean, Timur Cole was very much ready for the KHL this year, was buried in the MHL. Knowing what I know about Russian hockey, that is a sign.
So let me also read out the list that I need to actually update. The answers are Timur Cole, Fyodor Avramov. It was Timur Mukhanov. He signed a contract. Was Alexander Pelovin. He signed a contract. Alexander Paravelov, Alexander Rykov, third Alexander Sieryatsky.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Windhorst. It is the summer of Windy.
All I'm saying is that, it just makes sense. It would make sense that, what I was trying to say in that piece, Nick, is that essentially the Hurricanes are kind of in a waiting game until June because their prospects are free or are still under contract in Russia.
Yes. The only player that I can speak on currently, Alexander Rykov, was made an RFA from Tractor. That's about all I can say. There's really nothing else as of right now. It's a slow season in Russia. But yeah. And again, it makes me very happy to know that I personally think that we haven't been outright said, oh, this guy's coming to North America. But we've definitely dropped enough hints for people to connect dots. And to know that there is still mystique and intrigue makes me a little happy, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I know nothing.
Really?
I know nothing.
Nothing at all.
Nothing. My head is very empty.
Okay.
All ideas slide right out like a
Your
water
mi-
slide.
your mi- your mind is a mountain, like that one Deftones song. Oh, you didn't listen to the recent Deftone albums, did you?
I was gonna say if I wanted to listen to somebody moan into a microphone, I would, but
Okay, we're not doing Deftones disrespect. We're not doing this. I was late to the game. I was a little too old, or no, you're not too old, but I was older when I found Deftones for the first time. But
Deftones they were from the '90s. What do you mean?
I had not heard of Deftones until I was 23,
Okay.
22.
Anyways, I was no.
Hey, no, this
I
is
can respect them. I think Chino as a vocalist is very interesting. Love the song that he did with Lamb of God. It's incredible. Embers Rips. But Deftones has just never been for me. That's my musical take for the day.
what are you picking, Deftones or Sleep Token?
Honestly, Sleep Token's last album sucked ass.
Okay, as long as we can agree on
Ass
one thing, we
is
could be
the
okay.
worst word that I will say on this podcast. That album disappointed me
I
thoroughly.
think I only had to cut out one cuss word from you over the 23 episodes that we've
Then
done
that was a complete accident.
we got to keep it PG for the millions of sponsors that we have.
Yeah, right. All the sponsors that are just showering us in money to not talk about that.
Yeah, we haven't made a single cent from this podcast. It's awesome.
You know what? Hey, but if you are listening, have a brand, and would like for me to talk about it, I'll do it.
Dude, it could be the worst. You could be Lockheed Martin, and I might say a nice word or two.
I don't know about that, but
Hey, if that check's big enough. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I like to keep my soul.
Hey man, I'm joking
All right,
1,000%.
we are on a tangent here.
I
It
am
is
under the
11
influence.
p.m. It is
Says
11
who?
p.m. at night.
All right, Jarvie, we're getting to the very last. I think we only have one or two questions, and then I'm gonna force you to do a thing.
That's fine.
From Jarvie on Twitter, considering the Canes trade back from 28 to 31, who are some notable prospects they could target in the early second round? All the guys that we kind of just mentioned in the earlier part, Gleb Squared, Nicholas Aram Olsen, maybe, the Rucks. I don't really want to say Tommy Blyle, but I'm gonna say Tommy Blyle. Who else? Am I missing anybody?
Knowing me, the Canes like absolutely hate him.
Oh, yeah.
But like it would just be neat because of the connection.
He doesn't really fit their strategy personally, but
no, he doesn't. But
no, the Canes don't take that type of defenseman. Buddy, you better be 6'3" or taller, and you better know how to skate, and that we'll figure out the rest later.
I'll get on it.
And then Sam Hughes actually asked us 3, but one of them was a draft-related question. Is top need still goalie? I wouldn't say it's a need. It'd be cool to draft another one this year. Other than that,
it's a need until you get one that plays NHL.
Okay, well, they had one, and he decided that none of his lower extremities wanted to work correctly.
I see.
It's just one of those things that happens.
It's a need. It's a need. Goalie is something you should at least try and take one of per draft. Obviously, if you don't take one in a draft, it's not going to kill you, but at the very least, you should try.
My personal opinion has always been take one every draft, figure out where, just take one, see what happens.
Yeah.
That's my personal thing. The other questions that he asked was, how do the Canes pipeline stack up against other teams, especially contenders? If you're doing it out of contenders, I think outside of maybe Montreal, who, I mean, I guess you can say they're a contender now. Outside of Montreal, I definitely think the Canes probably have the best one, because like Vegas, no. Colorado, I'm saying no. Okay, well, Matt's giving me a definitive no. So out of contenders, Canes probably have the best one. In the NHL, middle of the pack. In that 15 to 20 range is what I would say.
Yeah, like I like Michael Haig is in Montreal. Bryce Pickford's kind of interesting as a defenseman.
I have a take about
Um,
Montreal prospects, but I'm not gonna release that
I
one.
pulled it up.
I know. I'm just saying I have a take about
Alexander
Montreal prospects.
Shirovsky is really good.
I just have a take. Oh gosh, I have a take about all Montreal prospects, but I'm not going to release that one to the general public because there will be black fans outside my house.
That's true. But they have some good players. I know they're going to be overhyped by the media, but like they're still good players. Colorado doesn't really have anything.
Ilya
I don't even know if
Nabokov,
Buffalo really has that great of a prospect pool anymore.
Constable Hellenius.
Hellenius, they've got Radim Mertka.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
That was a good laugh.
That guy. I forgot about him.
Ew, ew, ew. Their
Pros-
prospect pool is stinky.
yeah. Oh wait. Yeah, I guess
The
outside
the
of.
the, the Sabres really just say screw it after the first round and just leave.
All right.
Um, yeah, I mean, like Zach Jones is interesting. Ryan Wyshynski's interesting.
Well, hold on. Do we still count Zach Jones as a prospect?
Is this not the Zach Jones that I was?
I believe that's the Zach Jones that was a Rangers guy for a while.
Oh, he was. I was thinking. I thought he was a lot younger than that.
No, that's the Zach Jones I'm thinking of.
Yeah, because he was. I was like, oh yeah, the Zach Jones at UMass.
That's the
And I
Zach
was like,
Jones that played for New York.
he's been at UMass for he hasn't been at UMass for 5 years.
All right. Well,
Sorry.
but again, out of contenders, they're probably the top one in the NHL. Mid pack. I think that's pretty fair.
Utah. I mean, well, I don't know if Utah's a contender, but they're still playing.
Utah's not still playing. What?
Did they finally get eliminated by Vegas?
Yes, Vegas is playing their 5th game in the next series right now.
Oh, wait. Who's Vegas playing right now?
Anaheim.
Oh, it's Anaheim. That's what I meant to say. Sorry, not Utah.
Okay, I was
That's my
like,
bad.
yo.
No. And Anaheim's not a contender either. But like, if we're talking about remaining teams in the playoffs, like Anaheim with Roger McQueen has like a decent pipeline. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So with all, I believe that's all the questions out of the way. First up, obviously, thank you all for asking questions. I want to force Matt to do something because this is the probably second to last episode that we'll do pre-draft, and this is gonna lag my computer crazy. And if you are a audio listener, I'm sorry. You're just gonna hear our voices instead of look at a screen,
Just look it
and
up on Elite Prospects in the background. You'll be fine.
hopefully this comes across well. But I am going to force Matt to do a mock draft. We are going to use the Scouching simulator because it's the best one that I have found. I know Prospect Dawn has one as well. I haven't really done too much, but I think this is the same one I used last year, and it is pretty good, mainly because you can trade down with this one and it gives you fair offers. And I like that because this means we don't have to reach for somebody like last year. Incredibly nice. So let's figure out why did it immediately. Oh my God. Okay, this is it immediately switched tabs. All right. Solo draft, Carolina, 7 rounds. You want to do pure, you want to have a little bit of fun with it? Leave it a little bit random.
Yeah, I mean, we'll leave it at 40%.
All right, start draft. We're gonna make this fast so Matt isn't here for 2 years. Let's just double check, make sure. Okay, nothing stupid happened. We can sim. My computer is gonna be awful during this because it is just like that.
Wait,
And immediately
how did you pick? How did you go fast?
at the very top, you have to scroll up. There's an option at the very top to change the draft speed.
Okay.
It took me a while to figure that too. So immediately, I see 2 of my guys there. I also see Tommy Blyle. Simas Ignatavicius will not be here at this pick. So I'm just going to trade. If Chicago is here, I would like to do Chicago because that is probably going to be your best offer.
So who are your what are your trade
45.
offers?
I'm trying to find one that gets you into the 30s, and you won't get one into the 30s, so this isn't entirely realistic. Well, dang. I guess the best one that I got out. So I got offered. Nashville is giving 41, 148, and 201.
I am also receiving that.
I
So
feel
I
as if
think
that's the best offer
to
because
move down 11 spots and add a pick in the 5th round and 7th round, I don't think is the best trade that you could get.
no, that's why I was hoping Chicago was here because they had 34.
Utah's one is interesting because you at least get 2 in the 3rd, but I would rather
I
have
think you're doing the
41.
Nashville one, yeah, because that I'm trying to think like the Canes draft strategy, and their strategy would be to get in the late 30s or like
I
mid
agree.
30s. So
So
this is the one I'll take, yeah.
I'm gonna do the Nashville pick.
And we get to 41. And man, I mean, I'd be smiling ear to ear if this is my top board of Aram Olsen, Pugachov, Sherbakov. I'd be the happiest kid on planet Earth.
That's so funny. I have Pugachev, Ignatavicius, Jackson Cover. Those are my top 3 in the sim that I'm running.
I feel as if my sim's a little more accurate because Cover's already gone.
I mean, we did the 40% random, right? It's not going to be the exact.
Yeah, it's not
same.
consensus. I could.
And then,
well, I don't want to trade
do
this
the
pick back.
Canes trade back?
Okay,
even further.
I don't. If there was a pick in the later 40s, I would have done it. The earliest I see is
There is not.
I think I saw 59. So this is where you would take a player. And personally, I'm going
We'll
my
just
guy.
go ahead and take Gleb.
Okay, don't sound disappointed about that. Hold on. Let's not do that. Pugachov is a good player. He is a power forward and is something that Canes do not have within their system right now outside of Ryabkin.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. We'll take him.
Don't sound too disappointed about him next time.
Canes don't pick for forever now.
I think somewhere in the 4th, so like the hundreds. Yeah, 107.
Just got 148.
I have
107.
Yeah. Okay, this is where my brain starts to go out the window a little bit. Okay. Well, also I can immediately see 2. Oh, never mind. Okay, I see 3 players that I somehow took in a mock draft I sent to you.
I see a trade offer for Anaheim where you move down 11 spots and add a 7th.
I also see that. Is there a slightly closer one? Boston gives you a 7th and you move down 4 spots.
Yeah, I would do that.
Let's do that. I feel as if that's fun. Plus, I still think one of the guys I want is going to be there if I could ever. Where is
There's
Boston?
a lot of goalies here.
Yeah, this kind of feels like where you would take one. I did not take any of the ones in this range in my last one. I have had somebody talking, or at least mentioning to me, Alan Sheikh Lislamov. Alan Sheikh Lislamov? You don't...
No, that is not a real human.
It is. He is a Russian winger. A shocker.
Crazy.
He's mentioned him to me a few times. He is a super young player in this draft. He's September 4th, 08. Super young, 6'1". Over a point per game in the MHL this year. Was getting good playing time. His last game of the year was in the KHL.
You know who would be fun that I think the Kings should take?
Who would that be?
Yegor Rybkin, who's 6'7".
And a goalie.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Do I know? Hold on. I might have seen this goalie play this year. Oh, he's the Chaika goalie. Was he playing down
Yeah,
the stretch, or he didn't play a
probably
single game in the
not.
playoffs? Never mind. He hasn't played a game. Hold on a minute. Timeout. He has not played a game since November.
Must have been hurt.
I'm guessing so because his last game didn't face a shot, had 2 minutes of ice time.
Yeah, that's my guess. Because, like, I don't know who's on your list.
Here, at least to me, is Sheikh Lislamov. I believe I took Fedosiev, Yaroslav Fedosiev, in the one I did, I think earlier today or yesterday. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
no, this is a different guy entirely. I'm lying to you. That is he's not tall enough to be a defenseman. Unfortunately, he's only 6'2". Did get heavy minutes this year. Good God, 28 in a VHL game, 23 in a VHL, 26 MHL, 20. Oh my goodness.
Julian Mays is interesting. He's the top player on the board.
At least for guys that I know of, for me, I'm probably just gonna go Big Shake here. Just because it's a guy that I know.
Okay.
I think Dmitry Evchenko is also an interesting goalie. If you want to go more nepotism, Joe Aginla is in this draft. Even though he has no nepotism within the Hurricane system. But I think I'm
Yeah.
just going to go Big Shake just because it is a player that I know. And also, he kind of fits Kane's draft strategy of younger
Sure.
winger with decent production. So that's what I'm going to go with. I don't know if you're doing the same thing or something different. So,
Who did you pick?
Alan Sheikh Lislamov.
I didn't see him, so
Oh, that's okay. Well, I simmed in the next pick at 148, and I think I could just take the 6'7" Igor Rybkin, who is still on my board. Obviously, also these will get slightly more in depth the
that's funny.
closer we get to the draft. There's just so I have seen Ryder Federolf play a lot this year, and he was not bad. Who are half these people? It's kind of bad I don't know these people, but we're also
I know
super so
one of
far
the
up.
players. I know Noah Kosick.
He was a sick player in NHL 24 because he was medium elite and he would get the Wheels X Factor.
Noah Kosick?
Yeah. That was 2 years ago at this point, man.
He wasn't even playing junior 2 years ago.
They were taking guesses. I see a 6'5" Russian goalie, not Russian, Czech goalie who played
Named
U20 hockey. David Vermirovsky.
Vermirovsky. Sure, why not?
Okay, we'll be taking him. He's gigantic. He had decent production and high-end athleticism. That immediately goes, yep, that smells like Canes. Next up, Igor Rybkin is still there, but I can't be this boring. And plus, I don't think they would take two goalies. Why is they have Ludwig Soderberg falling super far in this one? This might genuinely just be a trade back spot because there is nothing here I care about. Wait, where did this guy play this year? That's Allsvenskan. 5'11". Yeah, that's unfortunate. I guess that's why he probably fell in this. I mean, he actually had a really nice season, so maybe I should not say that. Yeah, I'm gonna trade this pick. Dear Lord, I can move back 30 spots and get 2 7th-round picks.
You could also move back 22 and get a 7th.
Which one is that? Oh, Montreal?
Not really jazzed about any of those trades.
But there's like nothing here that I care about. Who is the guy that I sent to you? Is that Yaroslav? Yeah, but again, for anybody wanting to
I
do
think
any
this is
sort
where
of
you take. I think this is where you would take like a. Let's just.
okay, this is not the same guy. What in the world is happening? Oh well, this. Hold on a minute. What is your number one trait, gentlemen? Fine enough. No. The kid that I was looking, Yaroslav Matiev, 6'5" lefty. Unfortunately, skating is just fine. And if I'm going off Kane's draft strategy, I'm trying to be
Oh,
somewhat
here's a
realistic, but
guy.
this is also stupid.
Is Alexander Ivanov on your board?
What position would he be?
D.
Alexander Ivanov. I unfortunately don't think so. No, he is not. But just talk about what you see, just so I get an idea.
Because he was like a 6'2" defenseman. Played a little bit in the VHL this year. Just feels like a Canes pick.
What team
Actually,
does he play for?
he's in Kazan's system, so he played
Oh,
for
okay.
Vars Kazan, and then he played for Akbars actually for 7 games as well.
I just wanted to make sure because there is a Russian defenseman who plays for Spartak that I've had a couple looks at, and he looks really good. And he's a tall, strong skating defenseman. So I really wish
Is
he was.
Samuel Eriksson on your board?
That was who I was going to go look at next. Oh, Fargestad. 6'5", lefty. Heavy.
Sounds great.
Heavy. His player type is heavy shooter, physical defenseman. I played
Sounds
some
great.
for that. Defensive minded guy, sure, but he's gigantic. So Samuel Eriksson, welcome to the squad.
Sounds like a Canes pick.
Okay, back on the board at 191. There are 30,000 goalies on my board. And unfortunately for Ludwig Soderberg, he is still on my board, and unfortunately he will not be getting taken. All right, Jakob Frollo, are you small? Oh, he plays for Ilves. That's fun. 103 penalty minutes in 37 games. Oh my gosh.
Hell yeah.
He must be a. Okay, he's getting 10-minute penalties, but he is still playing 21 minutes a night. That's funny.
Is Philip Novak on your board?
Is that a forward?
Yep.
Is he Philip? It does not look like it, no. There's another Gleb in this draft. It's speaking my name.
Anyways,
This is incredible content.
I don't know. Just pick a guy. It's a free 7th round pick, 6th round pick.
Who do I want? Well, I'm trying to be somewhat. Obviously,
just pick Ribkin here.
Just take the gigantic guy who hasn't played since November.
Sure, it's a 6th round pick.
You're just
worst comes to worst, he's new. Yegor Naumov.
That is a name. That is a. All right, this guy has a sick name. Do you have Domin Christoph Songoth on your board?
Who?
Domin Christoph Songoth.
How do you spell his first name?
Doman.
I do not.
Okay. Wow, he has played a lot for Hungary, huh?
How many more picks do the Canes have in your sim?
Is there a way for me to tell? I don't know. I think I might have like 2/7. Maybe I should start doing a lot more late round draft because, dear God, it seems like they have 30,000 picks.
All right, late round. I'm just gonna
Wait, is that the guy? I think I know.
They
Hold
got
on.
the okay. So we have one of the last picks in the draft at 217 after this.
Okay, I have a guy that I would like to take here. If
Do it.
okay, slightly
You have to
undersized
indulge
Russian
me for
forward with
217 though, if you don't mind.
yeah, perfectly fine. Slightly undersized guy, 5'11", 154 pounds.
Oh,
August
he's a king.
2000, August 2008 birthday. I've actually seen a good amount of him play. He has kind of been a beast in the playoffs this year for Lokomotiv. The answer is Matvey Kotkov.
Great.
Okay, 217. This
217.
is you. You have a guy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I do. You
Oh
know who I'm
gosh.
bringing up here.
I
Alexander.
yeah. You lost me.
Type it in.
Oh,
Type in his first name.
Alexander. I don't really. Oh, is he still? Please tell me he's still
We
here.
are taking Alexander Karmanov.
Oh, Matt, I have. Okay, I was about to say I have
Yeah,
horrible
he's
news.
absolutely here.
Alexander I completely forgot. Yeah.
Karmanov. Now, for those of you that don't know, this is a meme pick. This kid
Okay. Well, hold on.
is 7 feet tall and
Yeah.
weighs like 260 pounds. Now, he skates like me. Bad. But he's 7 feet tall.
Hey, man, if you can
If
figure
he
out
can
skating,
even be like serviceable skating wise, who the hell is getting past him?
somebody who skates really fast.
I do not care. The dude has a wingspan the size of the rink.
I guess. I mean, one of Joel Niestrom's longer sticks, and you probably got a funny little guy that not funny, not little.
Like he from North Bay this year, you see this dude in like the goal huddle, and he looks like he's playing with 12-year-olds.
Hmm.
So, anyways, Alexander Karmanov, that's my guy. That was certainly one of the drafts of all time.
I scrolled down a little bit to see what happened. Albert Smits went top 5 and Keen Verhoff went 3. All right. But for this draft, we'll probably have a slightly more serious one come the next time you record, which will probably be like a week before or 2 weeks before the draft. At least from mine, which the people that are watching on video can see, we have a lot of Russians. Gleb Pugachov, Alan Sheikh Lislamov, David Vermirovsky, Samuel Eriksson, Yegor Rybkin, Matvey Kotkov, and Alexander Karmanov.
Who's not Russian. He's Moldovan.
I was about to say he is Moldovan, but he also has Russian roots and played in the Vityaz system. So
yes.
So yeah, that will do it for this episode of Developing Hurricanes. Thank you all for listening. Like I mentioned, this will probably be the last episode right up until the draft, I think. Probably like a week or two before. We'll try to have something out. And then obviously we will be doing the draft stream, which we'll talk about a little bit more then, and we'll probably mention a hefty sum more between now and the end of June. So again, thank you for listening, and we will talk to you next time.